At Secret Gathering in the Black Ear, Klein attends a dangerous underground Beyonder gathering, everyone wear metal masks. The apothecary talks in a rude but strangely persuasive way. He says, "Why don't you leave an address? That way I can get something out of your body." Black Snake laughs and comments on Klein's courage. The apothecary mocks him but is actually trying to help. Klein hands over the Hunter Beyonder characteristic and receives 400 pounds in return. Black Snake gives Klein a small wooden box. When Klein touches it, he hears weird sounds and becomes dizzy. Inside is a rotting black ear. Klein asks, "How do I use it?" Black Snake answers, "Grasping it without gloves is the same as using it." "Heh, you'd better go home and try it when you're alone." The transaction ends. Eye of Wisdom dismisses the gathering. Klein returns home. Above the gray fog, Klein brings the black ear above the gray fog. There he tries to use it by isolating his hearing and performing a divination. He sees horrific visions, a man mutating, swelling, screaming. A powerful evil voice invades Klein's mind. His veins burst, turning into writhing tentacles covered in evil symbols. Klein barely keeps his sanity. Eventually, everything calms. The black ear crumbles into black light. Klein casts the black light onto the fallen tentacles and creates an iron-black charm filled with strange marks. Through divination, he determines its use. It makes the target hear a terrifying roar. Weak targets go mad or die. Strong targets may benefit, but become loyal to the true creator. Klein names the object Language of Foulness. News of a gunfight and Ian Wright. The next morning, Klein eats breakfast and reads the newspaper. He sees an article. At 2 o'clock this morning, there was a fierce gunfight at Red Brick Alley in the East Borough, one of which is the notorious Zmanger gang. Klein suspects this is related to Ian Wright, the boy he tried to help. A new client, Mary Gale. Two women visit Klein, Mrs. Sammer and Mary Gale. Mary admits she suspects her husband of adultery and hires Klein. She says, "Don't call me Mrs. Gale, just call me Mary." She tells him, "I wish for you to tail my husband and confirm if he has a mistress. It's best if you can obtain material evidence." Klein accepts and receives information about her husband, Audrey and Ambassador Bakerland, at a noble ball. Audrey meets Ambassador Bakerland. He flirts openly and behaves like a sleazy old man. He tells crude jokes such as, "Most of the Inties men would say, 'Oh baby, I have to return now and can't be discovered by my wife.'" Kance Learson warns Audrey that Bakerland is not only lustful but dangerous, a Sequence 6 conspiracist with a powerful assistant who is likely Sequence 5. Audrey pretends to be naive but gathers intelligence. She later hires Zio and Fours to contact Mr. A for an assassination mission. She offers 4,000 gold pounds for them to find a killer. Mr. A demands 10,000 pounds or rare high-sequence potion formulas. Audrey chooses the money option and pays 2,000 pounds in advance. Klein follows Rosago Gale. Klein tails Mary's husband. He plants a button on him, uses dowsing to track it, and discovers Rosago enters the Quelaag Club. He can't enter, so he uses dream divination. He sees Rosago having intimate relations with a young blonde woman inside the club. Klein identifies her as Erica Taylor. Later, Mary arranges for Klein to become a member of the Quelaag Club to collect photographic evidence. Growing danger and divinations. Klein feels a sudden premonition of danger, an unnatural clown-like instinct. He performs divinations above the gray fog. Danger will come in the next few days. It cannot be avoided, it is connected to Ian. He also confirms the black threadworm in his room was controlled by a seer pathway beyonder, likely the ambassador's assistant. Klein hires a bodyguard. Klein meets Merrick again, who offers a bodyguard. "I have a friend who is short on money and is willing to accept this commission. She's stronger than me and should be able to protect you. However, she can only protect you for 3 days. The price is 1,000 pounds, Klein agrees. Back home, he sees his new protector appear in the bathroom mirror. A pale woman in a black regal dress with golden hair and blue eyes. She bows politely and vanishes. Klein thinks, she might be a ghost, yet he can't detect her with spirit vision or Azek's whistle. She is truly supernatural. Boy Ian unexpectedly visits Klein at night. He apologizes. "I came to apologize. I'm sorry to have involved you in such a dangerous matter." He reveals everything. Detective Zuriel was a FASAC spy who adopted children like Ian to gather intelligence. Ian discovered clues about Helma Suin's manuscript, a genius scientist's lost work. When Zuriel reported this, someone leaked it, likely a traitor near his superior. Zuriel was killed. Ian was hunted by Zmanger gang and Intis agents. MI9 rescued him. Ian admits he told the Intis agents everything under threat. Klein points out the missing detail. Have you ever thought of the possibility that Sriel's superior has traitors around him? Ian finally understands why everything went wrong. He bows deeply again. Please allow me to apologize again. Klein replies that the fault also lies in his own early mistakes and lack of disguise. And then Ian leaving into the crimson moonlight. Meanwhile, in the embassy, Bakerland approaches a young woman at the ball named Eileen, the daughter of a timber merchant. She is poor and eager to improve her status, so Bakerland, using his position as Intis ambassador, quickly wins her affection. After 2 intimate dances, Bakerland makes an invitation. Beautiful lady, I'd like to invite you to my room to sample some Ormir wine of 1286. Eileen responds, all right. They secretly go to his second-floor room. Before any Ormir wine 1286 appears, Bakerland already brings her to bed. During their activities, Eileen suddenly reveals horrifying traits. Her veins and nails sprout black, fluffy, spider-like legs. Bakerland instantly reacts, punches her abdomen, bang, and interrogates her. He asks coldly, "Who sent you?" Then warns her, "It's true that I'm into beautiful ladies, but I know this problem of mine. Don't bother resisting. I'm very good at using fire." She is terrified into silence. He conjures a flame on his palm, then transforms it into a red flaming whip. He lashes her. "Pow!" She screams, and he asks again gently, "Who sent you?" Eileen begins to answer. "It was..." But before she can finish, Bakerland senses danger. His eyes turn bloodshot, and he jumps away. A wall of fire bursts up where he stood. Eileen's abdomen tears open as a blood-soaked humanoid figure climbs out of her body. The woman's lower body explodes into flesh that forms a blood-red robe around the creature, a beautiful yet terrifying being. Bakerland recognizes it. Rose Bishop! Eileen's head cries, "For the Lord!" then dies. The Rose Bishop performs a gesture and steps through the fire unharmed. Bakerland tries calling for help. "Someone help me!" But sound doesn't leave the room. The space is completely sealed off. The Rose Bishop taunts him. "It was by your own will, the rules that were decided by yourself. I simply magnified your will and rules and made a slight distortion. If you want to escape this isolation, you have to defeat yourself." Bakerland realizes the enemy is using authority manipulation powers, Baron of Corruption, then corrects himself, "Shepherd, you're a shepherd. Who are you from the Aurora Order, Mr. A? Why are you assassinating me?" The Rose Bishop laughs. "You don't need to know who I am. Accept the Lord's blessings." The shepherd suddenly freezes like a puppet. Bakerland has secretly used his own puppeteering method. He mocks, "I'm glad that you were able to chat with me for so long. It gave me enough time." But the shepherd breaks free and afflicts him with supernatural illness. "Why do you think I was having such a long chat with you? How does severe pneumonia and an unstoppable cough feel like?" Bakerland realizes, a disease. "You cough, killed a demoness of affliction." The shepherd says, "No, I only received a gift from Saint Tenebris." A blurry ancient book appears. The shepherd chants, "I came, I saw, I record." He explains, "As long as I have recorded it, I'll be able to use it once. Although I only have half of its original effect, it's still enough." Darkness envelops him as he transforms into a dark armored knight with burning red eyes. The Dark Knight swings its massive sword. Bakerland screams, "No! Why?" Flames burst out but are cut apart and he is split in two. Even his soul seems destroyed. His body erupts with uncontrolled fire, shaking the room. The isolation ends with his death. The shepherd, Mr. A, immediately flees before the embassy's other Beyonders arrive. Back at 15 Minsk Street, Klein receives a divination. The visitor outside will bring danger, but it returns negative, something he distrusts because a seer pathway expert can interfere with divination. Sergeant Faxine arrives and warns him, "You must be careful tonight and tomorrow. Be careful of strangers," he adds. "You have offended that ambassador. The higher-ups have given you 3 choices." But right then, Klein's vision distorts. He realizes he is being puppet-controlled. Faxine revealed as Rosago, the mid-sequence seer. Faxine's face melts and reshapes into Rosago. Rosago smiles. Given time, this is one of the most difficult abilities to deal with for anyone that isn't a high-sequence Beyonder. A woman in a black regal dress, Klein's mysterious bodyguard, emerges from the glass. Rosago comments, "I never thought that you would be able to hire such a powerful bodyguard. By the way, my name is Rosago. Suddenly, he feels danger behind him, snaps his fingers. Pow! A transparent shadow burns away, but Klein fights back, uses language of foulness. Klein sees the bodyguard still resisting Rosago's control. The fight continues in the spiritual realm. He forces out a word in ancient Hermes. Foulness. He channels nearly all his spirituality into the charm. A countdown begins in his mind. 3. The true creator's maddening whispers fill the room. Rosago's face swells unnaturally. 2. Klein gains control of his body, throws the charm. What? Rosago hears the indescribable divine murmur. His veins burst, he collapses, skin rupturing. But Klein and the woman also collapse, screaming, their minds invaded. Klein recovers first. Executes Rosago. Klein staggers upright and sees Rosago's skinless, writhing body. He draws his revolver, steps forward, presses it to Rosago's head, and fires. Bang! Bang, bang. Bang, bang, Rosago dies. Klein mutters in gratitude. Captain, thank you for demonstrating this to me before. 13. Aftermath, Klein subdues the bodyguard and performs mediumship. He uses a requiem charm on the corpse, then a slumber charm on the pale woman. Crimson. She collapses into a deep sleep. He remarks, "It's also good to court death often. At least I gain some immunity." Klein sets up a summoning ritual, brings Rosago's spiritual remnants above the gray fog, and begins a mediumship ritual without needing to pray. He focuses and recites the potion formulas for the seer pathway. After defeating Rosago, Klein tries to communicate with his lingering spirit through dream divination. In the dream world, he sees a gray scene light up by a gas lamp, revealing a desk with a goatskin scroll on it. The seer and clown potion formulas appear, and Rosago listens to a mysterious voice teaching him. Before the advancement, I have to warn you that you've been too reliant on divination. Divination is a revelation, a result. It is unable to tell us the process. Divination isn't all-powerful. If you completely rely on divination, then you'll definitely die because of it. Klein realizes that this was why Rosago died. He couldn't foresee danger involving the mysterious gray fog. Klein reminds himself not to rely entirely on divination either. Then Rosago receives new information. Sequence 7. Magician, main ingredients, 1 true root of a mistrent, all the spinal fluid of a dark-patterned black panther. Supplementary ingredients, 60 milliliters of purified water, 30 milliliters of mistrent's juice, 3 grams of droplet gem powder, 4 drops of fantasy grass essential oil. Klein notes that magician fits the circus theme, seer, clown, magician, and realizes the suited man he saw before was probably a magician-type beyonder. The scene changes. Rosago is now in a fancy golden room speaking with an older man. According to my experience, after you consume the faceless potion, you have to remember this point. You can disguise yourself into anyone, but you are ultimately yourself. Klein realizes faceless is sequence 6 of the seer pathway, explaining Rosago's ability to change appearances. Then Rosago reads another page. Sequence 6, faceless, main ingredients. Mutated pituitary gland of a 1,000-faced hunter, characteristic of a human-skinned shadow. Supplementary ingredients, 80 milliliters of a 1,000-faced hunter's blood, 5 drops of black jimsonweed juice, 10 grams of dragon toothgrass powder, 3 strands of hair from a deep-sea naga. He learns that this rare creature, 1,000-faced hunter, is almost extinct. The old man continues, speaking about a ritual for the next advancement. Go to the sea, find a mermaid, and drink the potion while she's singing. Klein forces himself to stay conscious even as his spirituality runs low. He reads the last formula he can. Sequence 5, Nimble Right Master. Main ingredients, dust of ancient wraiths, core crystal of a 6-winged gargoyle. Supplementary ingredients, 80 milliliters of spring water from Sonia Island's Golden Spring, 10 grams of Drago bark, remnant spirituality of ancient wraiths, 1 pair of eyes from a 6-winged gargoyle. Advancement ritual, consume potion in the midst of a singing mermaid song. Then Klein's spirituality is completely drained. The dream collapses. Klein returns to the real world, exhausted and dizzy. Rosago's remains are gruesome on the floor. He notices Miss Bodyguard, Sharon, awakening, floating above the ground, looking pale and ghostly. Klein hurriedly explains what happened. After I blew his head off, I discovered that his body was still squirming. Because I was afraid he would come back alive, I quickly used all the charms on me. I was very nervous and panicked at the time. It might have affected you. Miss Bodyguard asks calmly, What charm was it at the beginning? Klein tells her truthfully about the black ear he bought, an item that connected him to a great existence. After a moment of silence, she nods. You'd better find a psychiatrist. Klein smiles bitterly, understanding she now thinks he's mentally unstable due to divine influence. They begin cleaning the room. Klein finds several items: cash, powders, charms, and an orange notary document. Miss Bodyguard explains, a mystical object corresponding to a notary. If the notarization is valid, the Beyonder powers will be temporarily enhanced. If the notarization is fake, the Beyonder powers will be forcefully dispersed. Then they notice something emerging from Rosago's corpse, a black, pupilless eye. Then what is this? Klein asked. Something worthless. Worthless? It has been contaminated by an evil god. It has no value anymore. Klein secretly keeps the black eye in an iron cigarette case. When he touches it, he sees black threads linking him and Sharon to something distant, likely the essence of a nimble right master's powers. Klein tells Sharon they should divide the spoils. She takes the notary document. Then she says coldly, "Let me do it." She merges into Rosago's corpse. The blood and flesh reform, creating a cracked, horrifying head. Klein watches stunned as the corpse stands up and leaves the house. Don't take a carriage or walk in brightly lit places. I know. Sharon controls the corpse like a puppet to erase evidence. Klein uses divination to confirm that the Intis ambassador Bakerland is dead. He relaxes, knowing the assassination mission is complete. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the Intis embassy. Officials examine Bakerland's body, suspecting it was the work of the Aurora Order or a shepherd, a high-ranking beyonder of that cult. At Count Hall's villa, Audrey, Miss Justice, reads about the assassination. The Aurora Order is really crazy. Aurora Order? What did they do? They assassinated the Intis ambassador Bakerland. Audrey realizes Mr. A succeeded. The assassination she helped fund is done. She's relieved but also frightened by his power. At Hillston Borough, Gio and Fours see the same news. They too realize Mr. A succeeded and nervously agree to send the rest of the payment as instructed. Meanwhile, Mr. A kneels before a statue of the true creator, coughing blood and muttering that the chaos will welcome their lord's return. Klein returns to normal detective life. He follows a woman named Erica Taylor to the Quelaag Club to photograph her affair with Rosago Gale. He hides in the cupboard waiting. When the couple becomes intimate, he takes pictures quietly with his spectral camera, enhanced by Miss Bodyguard, who hides inside it. After finishing, he sneaks out thinking, life sure is marvelous. Last night was filled with danger, yet today, here I am catching adulterers in the act. Miss Bodyguard emerges from the camera afterward, eerie and calm. I can go without eating for 2 weeks. Klein laughs awkwardly, trying to change the topic. Klein meets Dr. Aaron Series and discusses current events and new government bills. Later, Aaron mentions he's been unlucky with surgeries lately. Klein sympathizes but can't help much. That evening, Klein goes to the Bravehearts bar and attends another secret Beyonder gathering organized by Eye of Wisdom. They talk about a member's death, Black Snake, and Klein cleverly advises them to anonymously report this matter to the police. His logical thinking impresses Eye of Wisdom. Klein later learns more about sealed artifacts, including one called 2-0-81, and how dangerous they can be. After leaving the gathering, Klein sits in a carriage. Suddenly, Sharon appears. That Eye of Wisdom sensed my presence. Klein nods, explaining it's likely due to the mystical items the man owns. But Sharon then frowns, a rich smell of blood. They look out the window and see a murdered woman with her stomach cut open, a victim of a devil worshipper, likely from the Blood Sanctify sect. Sharon vanishes to investigate. Klein stays silent, pretending to be a normal passerby. Later, Klein receives a new client, Millet Carter, an elderly man who recently bought a mansion. He discovered a hidden underground structure and wants Klein to explore it for £50. Klein divines the results, it's safe enough, and accepts. At the mansion, Carter leads Klein to the basement. There's a secret stone door. Beyond it lies a long passageway and a huge hall filled with snakes. Klein is terrified, but Sharon drives them away with her freezing power. Inside, the hall is ancient, with inverted candlesticks and dark stone architecture. Klein realizes it's from the 4th epoch, possibly built by the Tudor Empire. On a raised platform are 2 giant thrones. One bears a black crown, the other a hand holding a scepter. This is the Tudor family's emblem, Sharon says. Klein deduces it might be an ancient royal ruin. They find 7 black stone doors at the back of the hall. The first door bears the dark sacred emblem, the symbol of the Evernight goddess. Inside is a huge statue of a beautiful woman with a hazy face, a black dress, and a full moon behind her head, lying gracefully as if asleep. Evernight goddess? Miss Bodyguard said, puzzled. Klein is shocked. Gods are not supposed to have human statues. He wonders, was the Evernight goddess once an evil god? Or was this blasphemy by the Tudors? Let's go to the other doors and take a look, Klein says. Miss Bodyguard nodded slowly. Klein and Miss Bodyguard investigate several stone rooms beneath the old manor. Klein carries his lantern and cane in one hand so he can quickly grab charms from his pocket. They find a room with the sacred emblem of Mother Earth, and Klein says solemnly, Klein, the sacred emblem of Mother Earth. Miss Bodyguard silently confirms. The atmosphere is eerie, her gothic dress making her look ghost-like. They continue opening more stone doors. Behind each, they find a sacred emblem and an associated statue, Lord of Storms, a powerful armored man over waves, eternal blazing sun, a handsome young man with a glowing sphere, god of combat, a decaying warrior on a throne, god of knowledge, a hooded elder with a book and an eye. Klein is shocked. All 6 Orthodox gods are represented, except the god of steam. He whispers, Klein, this is really strange. The hall collects all the gods in one place, something impossible in modern times. These statues feel ancient and off. Miss Bodyguard simply says, Miss Bodyguard, there's another door. Klein's intuition says the central door is dangerous. Miss Bodyguard senses ahead and says, Miss Bodyguard, very dangerous. But subdued, don't touch anything. They travel down a dark corridor. The lantern's light weakens unnaturally. Miss Bodyguard scouts ahead through stone like a ghost. One side is fully collapsed. The other door is cracked open. Looking through the crack, Klein sees piles of bones and rotten clothes, several glowing beyond her characteristics, a pair of bloody double doors, still oozing fresh blood. Just then, Azek's copper whistle reacts violently, icy cold and filled with death. Klein's arm begins swelling. He slashes it with a tarot card and black worms spill out, sizzling on the ground. Miss Bodyguard frowns. The whistle's deadly reaction doesn't stop. Then Klein notices something terrifying. Miss Bodyguard has no shadow. He shouts, Klein, run! A massive black shadow swallows the lantern light. Klein sprints, the darkness nearly engulfing him. He dives through the door and the danger vanishes instantly. Miss Bodyguard, uncertain, murmurs, Miss Bodyguard, evil spirit. Klein nearly shudders. An evil spirit of this level is comparable to a high-sequence monster. He rationalizes that he must not be greedy for the items inside. Klein concludes that involving the police is too dangerous and might cause unnecessary deaths. He tells Miss Bodyguard his plan. Research Viscount Pound's family, understand the ancient estate, possibly seal or destroy the dangerous room. Avoid alerting the authorities too early. Miss Bodyguard accepts and remarks, Miss Bodyguard, you still have some sense. They leave the ruins safely. Klein lies and says, Klein, terrible. A lot of snakes in there. He asks about the house's noble owner and learns it belonged to Viscount Pound, a family that rose in the Battle of the Violated Oath, but later declined and lost heirs mysteriously, possibly due to the underground ruin. At night, Klein has a vivid symbolic dream. A black gold dragon, a giant knight fighting it, the bloody door again, a decayed young man in black armor sitting within. He wakes sharply. Miss Bodyguard explains, Miss Bodyguard, influence of the evil spirit, it will weaken. At tarot gathering above gray fog, Klein experiments with Rosago's all-black eye above the gray fog and discovers he can use it to create an illusory persona with a body. His smurf, the world. He practices making it move, talk, and behave. He laughs as the world says the world, I choose the world. Klein plans to use this identity to ask for information without exposing his real goals. Members arrive. Justice, Audrey, the Hanged Man, Alger, the Son, Derek, and now, the World. Klein, as Fool. This is a new member, Mr. World. He shows her Lanavis's portrait. Fool. Investigate the man in the painting. She accepts 10 to the World's requests. The World requests rare ingredients, covering Klein's real aim, and Derek offers to help with Miss Trent's once he advances. Audrey warns prices, Justice. That's worth about 500 to 700 pounds. In private, The world tells Audrey the hidden truths about the assassin, demoness pathway, the world. Sequence 7 is witch. Audrey is shocked. Justice. The potion changes a man's sex? He explains the acting requirements, bringing disaster, enticing, controlling, etc. Audrey's excitement turns into horror. She agrees to provide Klein with the abject noble's information quickly. Klein reads 6 diary pages of Roselle's diary, who Alger gave him with massive world-building information. Page 1, Roselle's children and Zaratol's divinations. Roselle talks about the birth of his 3rd child, Bornova. He compares his 3 children: Bernadette, eldest daughter, born when Roselle was still low sequence, did not inherit beyond her characteristics, free to choose her path. This matches her real story. She later becomes a powerful traveler concealer. Seal, eldest son, inherits a bit of Roselle's characteristics. This forces him onto Roselle's pathway. This is an early clue about the law of beyonder characteristic conservation. Roselle doesn't know this law yet, but Klein recognizes it. Zaratol gives a cryptic prophecy. Seal will die early, but it might be a good thing. Klein notes, this fits a tragedy in Seal's future. Bornova, newborn, 2nd son, inherits a sequence 5-level chunk of Roselle's characteristics. Shows astromancer traits early. Roselle is happy because this makes potion digestion easier for himself. Another hint toward the characteristic law Klein knows. Bernadette's prophecy, this is the most important. Zaratol warns, she will hate Roselle. She will detest him. She will turn her back on him. She will become important in the mysticism world. Roselle refuses to believe it, ending with, seers are always so vague. Klein's reaction. He immediately remembers Bernadette's future status and her cold relationship with the Emperor. The prophecy is completely accurate. Page 2. The Sauron family and ancient influence. Roselle writes about Florens Sauron, an arrogant noble who tries to recruit Roselle as a subordinate. Florens claims, the Sauron family has a history longer than 2,000 years. This means they existed during the 4th epoch, the epoch of the gods. They survived multiple divine wars. They had access to powerful beyonder items and secrets. Florin also brags, only Augustus, Lowen, Einhorn, Fysak, and Castia, Fina Potter, rival them. Other ancient families such as Antigonus and Zaratol have fallen. Roselle is furious, but he admits, the Saurons are terrifyingly powerful. They must have multiple high-grade sealed artifacts. Klein's interpretation, this explains why the Saurons ruled Intis for so long. He wonders, did the Saurons lose their artifacts before the revolution? Were they already declining when Roselle overthrew them? Did the cataclysm weaken all ancient families? This leads Klein to plan. He will ask the son later about the Sauron family's name and whether Silver City records them. Page 3. Roselle's early political era and church relations. Roselle describes his time as consul of the Intis Republic. Key points: he created a new civil code. This boosted industrialization, trade, and inventions. This endeared him to the Church of the Eternal Blazing Sun, which favors commerce and action. Roselle notes the relationship between him and the church is warming. Klein's interpretation. This hints that when Roselle later crowned himself emperor, Caesar, he likely had backing from the Church of the Eternal Blazing Sun. Possibly tacit approval from the Church of the God of Steam. Otherwise, such a move would have been political suicide. Page 4. Beyonder talent and family. Heredity. Roselle records a moment when Florin claims he resembles a powerful ancestor, meaning he has talent for high-sequence advancement. Roselle mocks this, but Klein immediately understands. This is a hidden reference to the spirit imprint remaining inside high-sequence characteristics. When a descendant resembles the original owner, the imprint causes less conflict, much safer potion digestion. This explains why many noble families in history kept pathways within bloodlines, why the Saurons had multiple high-sequence members, why Roselle's son inherited his pathways. Roselle, not knowing the laws, believes acting is the only method. Page 5. The ancient organization and their philosophy. This is extremely important lore. Roselle attends a secret gathering of an ancient organization, name not revealed here. Their beliefs. 1. All people gradually lose self until they sleep. They believe spiritual death is inevitable. 2. By intensely observing yourself, you can purify your soul. This is eerily similar to acting, but more spiritual. 3. They believe in the original creator, not the true creator. They believe he is asleep, not dead. He will wake at the apocalypse, all will return to him, a new world will begin after destruction. 4. They oppose the true creator violently. They call him fallen and evil. They possess the second blasphemy slate. This is incredibly shocking, meaning the organization has direct access to the original divine pathways. They have tens of thousands of years of memories. 6. They only allow certain paths to be cultivated. Bard, sailor, reader, spectator. These are the interchangeable pathways Klein knows. Page 6, the greatest revelation, the 22 paths of the divine. This is the page that shakes Klein the most. Roselle writes that he completed his first card of blasphemy. He plans to hide them worldwide, embed the ultimate secret of the 22 paths, make them anti-divination, create a future insurance for his descendants, cause chaos for his enemies. Then Roselle describes what he learned from the blasphemy slate. 1. Each pathway has a sequence 0. Above sequence 1 is another level. 2. Sequence 0. A true god. This means eternal blazing sun, sequence 0. Sun goddess, sequence 0. Evernight storm lord, sequence 0. Tyrant primordial demoness, Parn sequence 0. Demoness pathway, hidden sage, sequence 0. Reader death, Shek sequence 0. Death pathway, etc. Thris. An ordinary human can theoretically climb to godhood through potions, rituals, acting, digesting characteristics. No divine spark needed. This is why the church calls it blasphemy. 4. He will model the cards after the major arcana, but change names to match the potion names. Klein's reaction, this is the biggest single lore bomb he has ever received. He almost loses control. His thoughts race. Sequence 0 exists? If someone reaches sequence 0, they become a god? Does every pathway have a god who once held that seat? Do the churches know the truth? Why do many organizations preach about the apocalypse? What did Roselle intend by scattering the cards? What is the original creator exactly? Why would Roselle antagonize the whole world? Klein also wonders, did Roselle die because of the organization? Did someone kill him over the cards? What is hiding inside the Black Emperor pathway? What did Hidden Sage actually want? The sheer quantity of forbidden knowledge overwhelms him. Back to the real world. Testing Ezek's copper whistle. Klein goes to a cemetery. Buried corpses with proper rites show no reaction. Recently buried bodies also show no reaction. Then he sneaks into a hospital morgue at night. When he stops spiritually shielding the whistle, a corpse abruptly sits up. Many iron cabinets bang violently. Klein uses requiem charms to calm them. He concludes, the whistle affects unceremonially dead corpses. Proper burial rites block its influence. Spiritual shielding prevents side effects. He escapes the morgue just before a janitor arrives. Klein walks the night streets of Bakerland thinking about magician potion ingredients, future tarot exchanges, using the world for information, his accelerating clown digestion. He feels progress and danger closing in.